can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What fi money in no money, what fi at you in no at you. Covid money missing we in the your little rat you. Use the youth them money waste and bust a man to statue. Say me like a catch you but they got in a figure you. Take the spit of money gal and say that is not you. On the head the man above him up him a got up. Too much it in the kitchen some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start and thief when them sell.
It burn me.
On them treat the market man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
On them treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
On them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm fixing something at the back here. I'm not soon at the moment. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Can you help me to call Angela Brownberg, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Education? If anybody have their number, can they send this live to them? I seriously want to speak to them this morning on very, very serious matters. So please, wanna call Angela Brownberg, Ministry of Education, and everybody, because something has come to my attention which I viewed as quite serious and ought to be known to everybody, because something just don't sound right with this. And I got tarried too long by Marlene Malaho Fort this morning. I need to listen to her to get into her more. To my community party and all my family members, platform moderator. Understand the live to Angela Brownberg, please. Platform moderator and Dana Dixon Smith, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning, real sweet sunshine. RJ, Rennie Henlon. Good morning, EM. Miranda Ruddock, Sheena Kelly, Sunshine, Wayne Evans, Christine Gilbert, Michael Nipper, Blue Wave, Violet Watson. Good morning, all. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning for your At a Glance program, Simone Dixon. Before we go ahead, let me show you a little video, Sharon Bernard, of why you should plant. Marjorie Lewis. Plant. Grow what you eat, Coates Noreen. Grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Let your food be medicine and your medicine be your food. Margaret Wilson. Shauna Williams. Maybe that would convince you to start growing what you eat and eating what you grow. Rosemary Samuels, Michael Baker, Miranda Roddick, Joan Dawkins, Paula Shelley, Margaret Wilson. I wonder if it will help you to start planting. Because the Chinese have some serious, dangerous, quick ways of doing things, you know. Where you go, that cornmeal from them and them tell you, say, go on down the road and come back. And by your come back, them create cornmeal for you. Don't ask me how them do it. If the friend, but them can do it. So if that don't convince you to plant in a paint pan and milk pan, then eat on there, eat on, innit? We soon have to go start yam grass like cow. Walk behind cow and any bush you see cow yam, you know it can yam. Anything you see cow and goat yam, ladybug. Anything you see cow and goat eating, Marjorie Goldberg. We can eat it too. If you see the cow and the goat eating it, make sure you eat it too. Because say, if it not poison cow and it not poison goat, it not gonna do you a thing. Have you ever gone to the hospital and see a goat or a cow queuing to have their blood pressure check or have their finger prick? Or have to take painkillers or such like? It's only those scientists who want to wear their white coat, walk around with needle and stab cows and brand them and all that. But by and large, cows get on with it fairly well. Uninterrupted, if we don't trouble them. They get on with it fairly well. Fairly well. As opposed to us who go to everybody to poison us slowly. Ivan Bradford. The food chain is a slow poisoning chain. That's what we've been served up. I wish I had land to farm. Ransford McLean. I wish I had the privilege, like some on a Jamaican who sit down on the land, them a dry up. And with a barely sprinkle little water upon it and plant something upon it that would grow. There's a lot of things that Bill Gates have buy rights into, you know. A lot of drinks, Pepsi Cola, Red Stripe Beer, Heineken, Udurin, or you're going to continue drinking Bill Gates drinks? Just ask him. Yvonne Riley. Just wondering if we now get up and yam from that man continuously every day, if we now have the opportunity to do something organic for ourselves. Marlene W. There's some multiple victim violent incident in Portmore, Prime Minister. They're not Portmore, Porous. You must have heard. And you know, some multiple victim violent incident are also in Spanish Town. But, Prime Minister, the crime rate and the murder rate is going down, isn't it? I see you raise the zozoism. And it come out, say Jamaica is this number 2 murder capital in the Caribbean. Crime, Prime Minister, is going down. Starlet Harlot. Crime is going down, Prime Minister. Mass control. Crime is really going down. Jamaica people, when you can't plant in our backyard, it is so irritating. You know, the Jamaicans are go a shop, go complain about sweet pepper and tomato and hot out of their yard. When you don't find it strange. When you don't find it worrying. Send that people a banana sucker or plant the sucker down in our backyard, near on a pipe. The easy jerk, go on, bro. Not to go quarrel over the likes this morning. Angela Brownberg, you reach yet? I wonder if they're not here yet. They must just get up a fumble out of them bed. Today our Wednesday, because they have to rustle up herself to come tell with the Anasi story them today, because you know Dana full of Anasi story. Only though Dana, Bratukuma is left out of your story, which don't make them gel well together, because you know Bratukuma and Anansi work well together. So you have to find the Bratukumarism. If you put in your story them Dana, make them sound like a well-rounded Anasi story, because you can't come tell with Anasi story and left the Bratukumarism out either. What kind of slow chig along in that, my lady? Carlene Dahmer, how are you? It is quite a slow to work, Miss Dana. If you come tell me a story, you get the 2 part of the story that gel together to make the story exciting and selling. But you know, just come with a dry story, so. Well, we know of the Prime Minister war with integrity and corruption. We are awaiting a judgment in the next 2 days from the court. That judgment will decide whether the Prime Minister can go forward with his argument before the court for a judicial review as to the report from the Integrity Commission that he's been asked to declare null and void, as well as his attack upon the legislature by asking the court to strike out Section 14(5) of the Corruption Prevention Act. So it is to be understood that the attack is not just up on the Integrity Commission. The Corruption Prevention Act that the Prime Minister is asking to strike out, that's an attack upon the legislative branch of government. Raymond Dunkley, Althea. So it's a multi-pronged attack here. Andrew Holness is not just attacking the Integrity Commission, because the Integrity Commission did not create or implement the Corruption Prevention Act. That was done. Karen Wagwan, bro. That was done by our parliament or legislature. So that part of Andrew Holness's court case is an attack on our legislative branch of government, a branch which Andrew Holness, Vincent, how are you, is a member of. But because of his executive powers, he's using his executive power to challenge the legislature in court. So you see the waffling of the three branches of governance here. Beat and teach not reach yet. You see the waffling of the three branches of government here. The Prime Minister is using his executive power to challenge a piece of legislation. Leave the Integrity Commission aside at the moment. Leave the Integrity Commission out of it. Let's deal with the Corruption Prevention Act, Section 14, subsection 5, which the Prime Minister is asking the court to strike. That is not an attack on the Integrity Commission. That's not how it is to be understood. That bit of the Prime Minister's case is an attack on the legislative branch of government. So here you have the executive in contention with a piece of legislation. This member of the executive went to the court, which is the other branch of government, and said, I don't think this piece of legislation that has been in operation. Let me take this call, please. Hold on.
Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't pull me again.
What people do in no money, what people at you, in no at you. COVID money, miss away in the yellow rat you. Use the youth, them on the waste, must have mantis statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, God, and say that is not you. One day, the man above me, look him, I got a bed. But it in the kitchen, some fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption fees.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't pull me again.
Sorry about that, my people. I had to take that call. But back to what I was saying with the Prime Minister. Leave the Integrity Commission out of it. This is between the Prime Minister and the legislative branch of government, which is Parliament. So the Prime Minister, part of the Prime Minister's case is actually challenging Parliament, because the Integrity Commission didn't make the Corruption Prevention Act. The Integrity Commission can only apply the Corruption Prevention Act to their investigation with regards to the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. So if the Prime Minister is asking the court to struck out Section 14.5, this is not an attack on the Integrity Commission. This is an attack on Parliament. Is to say Parliament created a law that does not work, particularly for him, because it's a judicial review. It affects him. He cannot come to Parliament and he cannot go to the court and say it affects somebody else. He has to say it affects him adversely. So that's why he's asking it to be struck out, which is quite something one's await to hear from the court if Andrew Holness is able to go forward and argue in front of the court that that piece of legislation that Andrew Holness helped to pass when he was in opposition should become null and void because it doesn't allow the prime minister to do his whiffle-waffing and his malarkey with the country or his personal finances. So we await that judgment. Why the Labour them have all heap. I wonder if the Prime Minister did force him Labour member them to take the ungodly thing that he told us that God created. Prime Minister, you remember that? Because quite so much of your councillors are just being up and out. I wonder if like you force the teachers to take the ungodly thing. You force it on your councillor them too. Just wondering, Prime Minister, because you're losing so much councillors of late. Angela, you reach yet? Angela Brownberg must there. You can stay and hide in my dear. You don't have to come in a public and say you're there. But as long as you're there and listen, Angela Brownberg, this is a serious development. Miss Brownberg, I'm going to call crowd there. This is quite a serious development. Yes, I'm going to look if I have her mobile number and send it to you. This is quite a serious development. I'm going to call Miss Brownberg there for me. Hold on, man. Look for one number. Yes. Hold on, my peeps. I need to send a number quickly to someone. That's Maria's mobile number. You can send her Maria mobile number direct. Right. Sorry about that. Carlos Wagwan, bro. Nen Miles, how are you? Keith Matthews. Sorry about that, my people. Miss Angela, you reach it, ma'am? Because I say we have things to talk about, Miss Brownberg. And I'm referring to that particular school in your constituency. That particular school, Miss Brownberg. Coburn Gardens Primary and Junior High School. And I want you to help me to investigate this pending calamity or danger, Miss Brownberg, Joan Byfield. There's a bursar they call them, that works. Carlos, me can't bother with the war with them people there. Kind of every morning me in the war and them a push me. Somebody hold me back. Somebody hold me back because them a push me to run after them in the chat and say, I want them to on a finger. But me I go hold me peace this morning because we say, I'm here to talk to Miss Brownberg, isn't it? Call Dana as well because this concerns the Ministry of Education. This concerns the safety of our school community. It concerns the safety, beat and teach, wagwan, of our children. Call Angela Brownberg. Call the Ministry of Education. And call the Prime Minister. Now, Miss Brownberg. James, well gone. The bursar at that school, Kevin Mignot. Are you aware of the name, Miss Brownberg? Kevin Mignot. A bursar with his key. Free access, Miss Brownberg. I'm referring to an incident that came to my attention that took place crack of dawn last Monday morning. So it would have been like my grandmother and my mother. Sunday night broke Monday morning. So I'm referring to that incident, Miss Brownberg. I don't know if you're aware of it. Because my understanding, true love, the principal look like the principal is hushing the situation. This may be a concern for Dirty Head L.A. Lewis because that's the school his children attended also. Kevin Mignot, Miss Brownberg, the bursar. Call Mrs. Finley, the principal of Coburn Gardens, because she needs to be honest with everybody, including her staff and the school community, Miss Brownberg. This is about our children, you know. This is not politics, Miss Brownberg. This is about safety of the school community, staff, children, and everybody, Miss Brownberg. So I don't want nobody come here this morning and think say this is about politics. This is about safety. Now, Mr. Mignot, it is said, has his own key. So it is also said Mr. Mignot seemed to be sleeping at the school at night, not sleeping at the school at night, using the school ground, not just the ground, the property at night for whatever purposes is uncleared. Mr. Mignot, it is said, has a rented accommodation and lives on his own in a tenement. Doesn't live with a partner. One might want to ask the question, Mr. Mignot has his own residence. What is Mr. Mignot rather, doing at the school compound at night? It is said in Mr. Mignot community that Mr. Mignot may be closeted homosexual. That's argument peddled as to why Mr. Mignot would be using the school if it's for sexual advanced purposes rather than his home, because he doesn't live with a woman. So what is Mr. Mignot hiding? Last Sunday night broke Monday morning, Miss Brownberg. About 4 a.m. in the morning, Mr. Mignot called a taxi operator to come and pick him up from the school. Wayne Evans, how are you, bro? True love. When the taxi operator arrives, men outside there waiting for him shot him, took his vehicle, and made off. Mr. Mignot make no report to police or anybody. Mr. Mignot just ran away. The school since been made aware of it because that happened just outside the school while Mr. Mignot was on the school compound. Mr. Mignot is not moving around freely anymore since the incident, kind of draw himself secluded and in. but have not reported it to the police or anything. The school, made aware of it, is yet still to have a meeting, Miss Brownberg, with their staffs. The principal keeps saying she's to have a meeting. There's still not one yet. And this took place last Monday morning before there, Miss Brownberg. So we want you to investigate for us what the incident is. Could it be that Mr. Mignot on the school property did a setup that he's now hiding from, that now becomes a risk to the school community if one should want to come there to dirt Mr. Mignot, Miss Brownberg? This needs serious and swift intervention and investigation as to what happened at the school gate last Monday morning involving Mignot. Can I take a break, please? One sec.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I resort to cry. You can't fool me again.
This call I've just received is somebody who is a globalist, who is aware of the story. So them just quickly call to say, Wayne, you're on the right track. Make Miss Brownberg go and investigate. So Miss Brownberg, we want both you, the Ministry of Education, to look into this matter. It is very serious. There's an incident involving firearms. Someone was shot, someone's car was taken. If this wasn't a setup, 4 o'clock in the morning, how would those gunmen knew Mr. Mignot was going to call a taxi operator to pick him up from the school? Why is if Mr. Mignot is not having a closeted affair, because it is said Mr. Mignot is a closeted homosexual, and that's what he uses the school for at night to meet his homosexual partners. Mr. Mignot no knows a bush or hotel that road. It is not what our schools ought to be used for. So, Miss Brownberg, we are pleading. Ministry of Education, we are pleading. We are begging. Look into this matter. It is a very serious matter that involves the safety of the school community. June 26, how are you? It's true, Mr. Wayne. Hold on there. It's true, Mr. Wayne. Me always know that. Man, fishy, you know. Oh, you know, you're from that area town, True Love. So, me want Miss Brownberg. Come, Miss Brownberg, you know, don't want me to come out and come talk, you know. So, what I want you to do, Miss Brownberg, along with the Ministry of Education, wanna get a hand on this thing. Get a grip on this thing. It could explode. It could explode and affect the school community. It can bring danger to our teachers, children, and staff at Coburn Gardens. I hope L.A. Lewis can chime in on this, because this is danger posed to his children as well, because at the school there, LA2 children go. This is about children's safety. This is about safety within our school community, Miss Brownberg. This is not an issue to look away from. There's a lot of violence in our school, Miss Brownberg. And if staff members, Miss Brownberg, are going to use schools within your constituency to carry out their criminal or closeted activity, it's not what our school is about, Miss Brownberg. Miss Dixon, Dana Morris Dixon, it's not what our school is about. So there's serious intervention needed because the principal, a hush hush and a musho musho and a kusho kusho, the problem. Because the principal from last week, morning, Sunday morning, so Monday morning, because 4 o'clock in the morning, run one list. From last week, Sunday morning, I'm principal to have a meeting with staff. I'm Miss Findlay. Miss Findlay, the principal of Coburn Garden Primary and Junior High School. I hope that this is not a known molester to you operating within the school grounds, Miss Findlay. So this call for serious attention, Sharon Bernard. How are you? Serious intervention and attention from government ministry because the principal seem to have something hiding. Because if you don't have something to hide, Miss Findlay, why haven't you had a meeting with your staff, telling them what you know, telling them what will be done? Why there has been no meeting? It's over a week now. Gloria Morris, how are you? And Miss Brownberg, Miss Morris Dixon, don't make this situation blow up. Sharon Peart. Don't, Miss Findlay, Miss Dana Morris Dixon, Miss Angela Brownberg. Do not let this issue blow up in your faces. Because I know we don't have no secret for nobody. We don't have nothing to hide. Not one dege. Don't let this issue blow up. This is a matter of safety. This ought to be treated with urgency. It's within your constituency. You're not the Ministry of Education, but you must make urgent representation. You must carry out an urgent investigation, Miss Brownberg, as well as the Ministry of Education. You must call your principal to action and find out from her what is happening in the school community. How can we remedy this situation? How can we put measures in place to provide safety to our children? Are there any risk to our children at the moment? Miss Findlay is the principal for the school, Christine Gilbert. Miss Findlay is the principal for Coburn Gardens Primary and Junior High School. Miss Findlay is the one who seemed to be one to cover up something here because Miss Findlay don't have a meeting with our staff them yet. Miss Findlay seemed to want to draw that corporate sheet, that white corporate sheet over what has happened outside the school, involving the school bursar, who is using the school compound at night for whatever God-given reasons. We need to know our schools are public building. Miss Brownberg, Miss Dana Morris Dixon, Miss Findlay, principal of Coburn Gardens. Don't let this blow up. Because I know say we're town crier. We are church bell. Don't let it blow up. Because we're not going to hold back on anything that comes across here. We're going to have over a week to make intervention, and no meaningful intervention, because principal up to now haven't had a meeting with their staff. So please, Miss Brownberg, don't make it go south. Don't make any risks come to our children unnecessary because the school knew something. The school could have done something, but the school did nothing. Omission. Thought of negligence, Miss Brownberg, Miss Dana Morris Dixon, principal of Coburn Garden, Miss Findlay. All women, well, the children protection as paramount. I'm not blaming Miss Brownberg or Miss Morris Dixon because I'm not sure they are aware of what is unfolding at Coburn Gardens. So this is why I'm calling on Miss Brownberg as well as Miss Morris Dixon to investigate as a matter of urgency what happened at Coburn Gardens involving the bursa, and if there's any risk posed to the school community because of that incident. It don't look like it's only for learning anymore, Wayne. Don't really look so. But this a cover-up, there's a cover-up being smelled here. A cover-up by Miss Findlay is being smelled. And under no circumstances, Miss Findlay, in a social media age, you would be able to carry out a cover-up of such wide-scale incident. So make sure the safety of our children and the safety of our school community, Miss Findlay, is paramount. So therefore, if you have not, Miss Findlay, inform your MP or the ministry, you ought to take the necessary measures, Miss Findlay. Otherwise, we will blow you up with the truth, Miss Findlay. So just in case you have anything hiding, ma'am, try bury it and come deal with this situation. Yeah. This situation required, Miss Findlay, urgent attention. Just like how we ate the Transport Authority was chasing whether be the Subaru or the other car that massacred our children in Clarendon. And to date, we cannot get any concrete information from the authorities as to whether was there a chase prior to the accident or at the time of the accident. I think those are quite simple questions to answer. The Transport Authority can answer it themselves. The people within the community said that's the case. Why is the government standing off, going to space to find out if it's actually true? Just like how the Prime Minister shoved NEPA and shoved the environment off the cliff. And the Grenadines, I tell the people them who comes and who comes. And you never tell the people them are Grenadines. So the whole of Jamaica mash up. You could just piss on any Jamaica Road Prime Minister and then bust up. You never tell them, say, I come back home to disaster, sir. Cheryl Benjamin. You never tell them, say, you're coming back home confused because your spark money done and it not start yet. Your spark money confuse you because you don't know if you start spending because the whole country mash up Prime Minister. You think spark money can fix the whole country? You are the most confused Prime Minister at the moment, so you stay there. The police said no chase took place. The residency chase took place. Can they provide us evidence, both the community and the police, that there was a chase? If there was a chase, does the resident Abina Sarkodie, Echo, how are you? If there wasn't a chase, if there was a chase, did any of the residents in the community capture the license plate number of the transport authority, the color of the car, or whichever was doing the chase? Patrick Evans, how wanna do? Anybody know Miss Brownberg? Please get this information to her. That investigation should start with Miss Brownberg. She should want to find out from the principal what on earth is going on in the school. And Miss Brownberg should make representation to the ministry of whatever support that the school might need to deal with the issue there. Has the school reported the issue to the police? Mr. Mignot did not report the issue. Mr. Mignot just ran off after Mr. Mignot called the taxi operator to come and pick him up from the school to drop him to his home. The gunman them out there shot the taxi operator, took him car. Mr. Mignot run off. Lawrence Wood. Why on earth Mr. Mignot did not report the incident to the police? To date, Mr. Mignot has not reported the incident to the police. From my understanding, and I will also double check, the school has not reported the incident to the police. Mr. Mignot, it is said, is still interacting with the school, but still on a down low on the school community, like him now want move around, move off the school community like him freely used to do before the incident and all of that. So there's a little bit of sheltering behavior seem to be going on there. But the wider part, though, is the cover-up. Lawrence Wood. There seemed to be a cover-up in all of this, and it is not good. It is not right. It doesn't provide information to put safety measures in place should there be a risk to the safety of the school community, Marcia Thomas. So I hope they can get onto this matter, Miss Brownberg, because we are not going to drop it. We are not going to drop that issue, Miss Brownberg. So please, get on top of it. Economists concerned low employment rate may be masking low wages problem. So and just one more person come out here come say, well, your low employment rate and your low wages, just about a rough of fluff. One I hide the other and the other hide the one. Nothing much to write home about, Prime Minister, isn't it? There's really not much to write about. I think she mad, because I don't know where you're going with this galangin. Phase 1, from my understanding, hasn't been approved because Mark Golden no sign off it. So you cannot move into phase 2 of it. But if we not settle the issue of phase 1, what's the point of Marlene Mallahu Ford bringing a bill to Parliament to make Jamaica a republic? I don't understand, because there's not consensus between the government and the opposition on phase 1 of the constitutional review. But she's hoping to bring a bill to Parliament to kickstart the reform of Jamaica Constitution to be tabled in Parliament next week. But if there's not consensus on phase 1, Marlene Malahou Forte, what's the point of bringing the bill that the People's National Party is not going to agree with? You may have enough people to push it through the House of Representatives, but with the voting in the Senate, can you really get it through? What's the push? But me have to go listen more into Marlene Malahou Forte and that dunceness where she come to Parliament with yesterday. Unless you don't want to listen to it, me know, me play it for now. But if not, me go listen to it on my own. Because certain time, me do think Marlene Malahou Forte have dengue. And the dengue, because of the high fever will come with it, it make Marlene Malahou Forte totally forget, say, it makes no time you waste time bringing forth legislation and we do not have a consensus on going forward. Talk it out, Marlene Malahou Forte. Them something that makes sense to you? The Easy Jerk said, play it. Who else want to hear it? Talk to Miss Forte. Them something that where you get up and talk out of your sleep. Because half the time, when you hear people get up out of their sleep, Miss Malahou, and you hear them talk. Half the time, they don't know what them talk to you, so because in them sleep, them talk to you. And this seems to be happening with Marlene and our constitutional madness. Hold on, let me bring in this because all the teeth in Maris there. Big old teeth in woman. Watch the teeth in Ed Bartlett. Hold on there. Hold on, I got dry it to where the madman talk. Hold on, I'm so fine. Madman phone now. No, she go come after Edmund Bartlett. Hold on there.
Security among other ministerial portfolios. He represents a constituency that in fact abuts and abounds his father's older constituency. And there was a time when it was thought that the succession might extend itself to that very constituency itself. But of course, nature, time, and God has designed it another way.
Lord Jesus.
Instead of being there, he's right next door, and perhaps at a better place. But we want to welcome him very specially now and to wish for Dwayne a very successful tenure as Member of Parliament for the great St. Andrew Northwest. Madam Speaker, I'd like to also welcome the students from the school in your constituency and the teachers who are here, along with the other members of the gallery who no doubt represent other constituencies. Perhaps some of the speakers in the debate that will ensue may have representation in that group. So we want to welcome you all, and we look forward to a very productive session today and as usual, live and very active and buoyant democracy as displayed in this house on Tuesdays for the last umpteen year. Madam Speaker, today's session will we'll begin with a statement by Minister. One statement today. The member from St. James West Central and Minister of Legal Affairs will make a statement, and then the agenda will follow for soon. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, House Leader. Members, please make welcome to her feet the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, who will make her statement by Minister. Members not listening at all. Minister?
Do you want to start a podcast?
Hold
I'm
on
not sure
there.
how to do it. Well, Riverside has you covered. Here's how it works.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the copy of the statement will be provided to Minister shortly thereafter.
And members of the opposition in particular, the Minister has asked leave to allow her to comment her statement by Minister, indicating that copies will be provided to us shortly, I presume within the next 5 or so minutes. Go ahead, Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to once again honor the commitment I made to provide periodic updates to this honorable House and to the people of Jamaica on the status of the work to reform the Constitution of Jamaica. I indicated in my last ministerial statement here on September 24, after my sectoral debate presentation on June 11, that in accordance with the approval granted by the Cabinet, drafting instructions were issued to the Office of the Parliamentary Council on June 24, 2024. The Chief Parliamentary Counsel, who has personal conduct of the matter, up to the time of that last statement, had dispatched 2 bills to the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs on July 22, 2024. One is in respect of the amendment of the Constitution to, among other things, effect its patriation and Jamaicanization, as well as the establishment of Jamaica.
Big word, Jamaicanization.
The other is to provide for the votes of electors to be taken with respect to those amendments that are required to be submitted to electors pursuant to Section 49(3) of the Constitution.
Hit the like button, my peeps.
That bill is the Referendum Bill 2024. Since then, Madam Speaker, 6 revised drafts of the Constitution Amendment, Republic of Jamaica Bill were dispatched by the CPC on August 27, September 16, November 13, November 22, November 29, and December 2, 2024, following further drafting instructions after reviews by the Drafting Strategy Subcommittee of the Constitutional Reform Committee, as well as the internal ministry team, plus the learned Attorney General. Madam Speaker, I am pleased to inform this honorable House and the people of Jamaica that review of the bill to amend the Constitution is far advanced. It is quite possible to complete the remaining steps and have the bill tabled as early as next week. Before the Christmas break. Possible. Madam Speaker, The proposed bill contains 36 clauses. A new chapter 9A for a proposed section 134A, a fourth schedule for national items.
Thanks, Echo.
It is intended to achieve, Madam Speaker,
So, cause she confused.
is intended to achieve national goals about which there is no dispute.
Anybody more having a £2?
Outside of the parliamentary aisle or within the political parties, to the best of my knowledge. When passed into law, the bill will allow for the Constitution of Jamaica to be put in proper form as the supreme law of the land. It is worth reminding everyone that although drafted in Jamaica and debated in the Jamaican legislature, the Constitution came into effect through an Imperial Ordering Council as a Schedule 2A. And we know that form of subsidiary legislation is inappropriate for a supreme law. On this, there is no dispute anywhere, as far as I'm aware. When passed into law, the bill will also abolish the constitutional monarchy and replace the hereditary monarch of England with a Jamaican president as Jamaica's formal head of state, thereby transitioning.
Thanks, Echo. Thank you.
To a republic. There is no dispute anywhere, to the best of my knowledge, about the attainment of this national goal. Madam Speaker, the bill goes further. It will entrench the Electoral Commission of Jamaica in the Constitution, thereby giving it a permanent place in our law. Again, there is no dispute anywhere, to the best of my knowledge, about the attainment of this national goal. Madam Speaker, further, the bill proposes the incorporation in the Constitution for treatment of national items, including national symbols and emblems, the national anthem, the national pledge, the national flag, the national trail, the national song, among other things. This is an aspiration of the people of Jamaica for a long time. And to the best of my knowledge, there is no dispute anywhere.
Lady, hurry up and move on.
Additionally, the bill proposes to strengthen the alteration mechanism of the Constitution to enable more efficient use of legislative time and greater ease in achieving other agreed reform goals without compromising the guardrail. Madam Speaker, administration after administration has lamented the tight belt that is around the Constitution and the deliberate slow pace at which constitutional reform moves. When passed into law, the bill will enable greater ease of reform going forward. It will also provide clarity on citizenship, acquisition, renunciation,
and what else?
Qualification, among other things. It will also clarify the qualification and disqualification for membership in the House, qualification to or for, and disqualification from membership in the Houses of Parliament. And the appointment of additional senators independently of the political parties represented in the House of Representatives after a general election. Madam Speaker,
Senators in the House of Representatives, I understand that.
reform of the Constitution is taking place in a very challenging context. It is agreed and admitted, but you never get a chance to wish away your content. You have to understand the challenges and turn those challenges into opportunities. Madam Speaker, Section 49 of the Constitution prescribes the manner in which the Constitution is to be altered. By way of reminder, a bill for an act of Parliament seeking to alter the provisions that we are seeking to alter in this phase of the reform work must be tabled in the House of Representatives, and a period of 3 months must elapse between the introduction of the bill in the House and the commencement of the first debate on the whole text of the bill in the House. A further 3 months must elapse between the conclusion of the debate and the passing of the bill by the House. The bill must be passed in each House by the vote of not less than 2/3 of all members of the House.
Thanks for becoming a member, Echo.
And thereafter, the bill must be submitted to the electors qualified to vote for the election of members of the House of Representatives, not less than 2 nor more than 6 months after its passage through both houses. And it must be approved.
So that means it won't be passed under this government.
We have not had a referendum in independent Jamaica. And there are talks all over of the challenges that the holding of a referendum poses. But there is no escaping the approval of the people in order to make the changes to achieve the agreed national goals. Madam Speaker, where we are in the life of this Parliament, and having regard to the constitutional timelines, the work will not be complete in this Parliament. But in its wisdom, the Constitution allows for the work to be done over the life of more than one Parliament. So, Madam Speaker, among the challenges in the context in which we find ourselves are 2 major ones. As I just said, the time where we are in the life of the Parliament, having regard to the prescribed timeline. And the other, Madam Speaker, is the importance of cooperation from the parliamentary opposition. The Constitutional Reform Committee, providing expert advice and guidance to the government and the people, comprises representatives from both houses on both sides of the aisle, as well as representatives from the public.
House Leader, before you stand to act.
Mark Golden is going to respond, I think, so I want to hear Mark Golden as well.
I don't know if you observe from the opposition benches discomfort at the presentation ongoing without them having a copy. So this minute, I also do not have a copy, nor does the Parliament.
Sloppy work then, isn't it?
It is not a requirement by the standing order. It has been a practice to share a copy of the presentation so that
Juliet, hold on there.
are allowed to
Hold on there. Judgment.
for the speak.
Miss Donald Trump. There are things in our Constitution that we call customary or conventional practices, Juliet Holness. Practices that are not in the law books or the legislative books, but practices that we do and accept as the norm. So not because in the standing order, Juliet, that speeches are to be printed and issue out. It is the normal practice in any parliament, so you can follow the proceedings. And that it did a fact. The Donald Trumpism of you, Juliet Holness, is that because it's not in the law book, I must chop it up and tear it up. You regularly do that. It shows your dictatorialness or dunceness. I don't know which one. You would have to, our doctor would have to diagnose and tell me which one of them are bother you at the moment. Jesus have mercy.
So I am hoping ministers appreciate once I do not have a copy of the presentation, it limits my ability to determine what additional time may be needed and therefore not any departure from the time limit will be accommodated. So House Leader, from the opposition benches, I have asked them to sit and allow the minister to complete her presentation because her time was almost expired. And in keeping with good practice going forward, I'd ask you not to ask the members for significant length of time because we are going to have to become a very disciplined house as we go forward.
Mama, fix up the rules then.
No, you have to do one mic at a time, otherwise they're very soft.
Yeah, thanks. Madam Speaker, I just want to express my disappointment that we are proceeding this matter on a matter such as this. This is to do with a total overhaul of our Constitution, something which the minister has been pursuing for a few years now, and in which we have had some degree of engagement, as unsatisfactory as we have found that. For the minister to be making an important presentation of this nature to the House without providing copies in accordance with the customs of the House is unacceptable. And I would ask that that be corrected without further delay.
Madam Speaker, Minister, turn your mic off, please. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition point is taken. We made the arrangement for the soft copy to be provided and for a printing of the soft copy to happen while the member was speaking, and Parliament gave permission, so to speak, for her to start the speaking. And Madam Speaker, this is unprecedented, and it is not, and I agree with you, it's not a practice that we offer any comfort to. The Leader of the Opposition has made the point, and the member may truncate at this point to allow for the printing of the soft copy which she has sent so that the distribution can take place. And I will have a recommittal of statement by ministers in order for her to make the full presentation, if it so pleases you, Madam Speaker.
This is just shit they're talking, literally. Why evade the normal practice when you should have had the speeches printed and prepared, or at least send them by email so people can follow them on them phone or them computer? It's bullshit they're talking. They try to hijack the thing.
not my intention to comment
Lie.
the statement
Lie.
without making
Lie.
a copy available.
No, it's a lie, Marlene. No, it is a lie, Marlene.
I had asked
No, Marlene, it is a lie.
we committed to enable the transition of the statement to the opposition ahead of my commencement.
Why?
So, Madam Speaker, I
Minister,
pray your leave. I will pause and ensure that. the
Would you give us
statement-
an idea of how much longer your presentation is?
About 10 minutes old.
All right.
But, Madam Speaker, I will pause and allow the statement to be
Pausido has indicated that he would prefer to have a recommittal,
Yes.
and we would be happy to
That is exactly what
operate in good order in keeping with
It's not
that
out of order.
directive.
It is out of order, Marlene.
So,
You fail to follow the normal
Announcement.
practice.
laid on the table of the whole.
Whether you not do the same thing to Mark Golden because them never sent it to no before, innit?
Jamaica Intellectual Property Office for the financial year 2016-2017. Annual reports of Jamaica Vacations Limited for the financial years 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022. Auditor General Department Performance Audit Report, Resource Management and Governance of the
Let's hold on there. You remember when Mark Golden came to Parliament a few weeks ago to table a motion against the Prime Minister Galangin? What did they shut down Mark Golden on? Because Mark Golden never informed them. Marlene Malahou Fort just turned up with our statement, failed to follow the necessary procedures of sending it to them by either email or have printed copy so they can have knowledge of your presentation, they can follow your presentation, they can have a response to your presentation, but you just want them to hold things in their head or write it down. It's bare madness. When Juliet Holness and Edmund Bartlett allow her to start her speech blindsiding the opposition, wasn't it the same thing them use and shut down Mark Golden with it? But in relation to Marlene Malahou and our constitutional bulldozery, I'm not concerned of the fluff that they're coming with because they won't have the political life to affect our constitution with the changes they want to, given the legislative time frame that this thing ought to be debated in. So, the life of this parliament, which comes to an end by the end of August of next year, will not be able to affect the changes. So we don't have to worry and lose sleep that Andrew Holness is going to ram raid over our constitution before the general election. A speech like that, Jeanette, where it's about the changes of the constitution. Marlene Malahou Fort understand when you table bill, it's a bill you're talking about tabling. This is not the actual tabling of the bill, but you're making the statement to lay out why the bill and when the bill is going to be tabled. These proceedings in Parliament, you always come with your soft or hard copy. The soft copy is an email, you send an email. The hard copy, you have an actual printout where you hand out to where the clerk, the usher, not the clerk, the usher give a copy to every member of Parliament on both sides. That's the normal practice. So when them come with this blindsided Galangin and but Marlene always dunce in everything Marlene do. You present it dunce, you start it dunce, It dunce because I never that you feed Marlene. Just like how you mix up hybrid, the hybrid nonsense of your presidency. Woman, why you don't go on back in the court go make the mistake them what Parliament make? Why you don't go on in the court go make the mistake them what Parliament and leave us alone? Don't you have nothing to do, Marlene Malahou Fort? You surprised when you plan to create a hybrid president. I found that we're afraid of you. Because we realize you are somebody where we just make it up as you go along. But don't be worried about them effing up your constitution. Because the legislative framework doesn't give them the time to do so. So when you can lay down and sleep comfortable and know rather than go fix the road and the hospital them, this is what now waste time pan. You're wasting time on something that you're not going to get consensus on based on you push it up in our face and tell we nobody does it better than Marlene Malahou Fort. Lady, please. Please, lady. Please. Enough of the nonsense. Your parents, they must embarrass you. Because when you did the pan rate, remember in a PJ days in a Marlene Malahou Fort. You did bright when PJ did in an office. When you come pan rate, you come cover for Barbara Gludan. You did one bright, no officer, every problem lawyer Marlene want to you since Andrew touch you. Andrew have a demon, but when in touch, you know that turn thief or dunce, Marlene. Tell me, say a lie, me I tell Marlene. When you, I think RJR Barbara Gludan do the pando, Radio Jamaica. When Barbara Gludan, the pan holiday, the pan break, Marlene Malahou Fort, and you come cover for Barbara Gludan, brighter than you, problem solving than you, no exist in the Marlene, but for Andrew touch you. Stars Aries, how are you? Full life. Woo! You say she too full life, she too lifeful. No, sir. Lifeful Marlene. So this is the name for Marlene. Andrew is the messful leader, and Marlene is the lifeful minister. No, sir. Hey, you see, if Andrew touch you, you have it on either thief and idiot or thief and dunce. When Marlene Malahou Fort did upon radio, anybody remember when Marlene Malahou Fort come cover for Barbara Gludan? Marlene Malahou Fort have stripe panar. Them time the Marlene Malahou Fort know the law. Marlene Malahou Fort know all of the ills of Jamaica where PJ do to Jamaica. Me no say PJ never do ills to Jamaica, you know. But Marlene did bright. Them time they're bright and promising. But look upon you today, Marlene. Look at Marlene today. Duck, no fool, so. Duck, you pick up the pork, it fly through your body. You pick up the pork, it fly through. Marlene Malahou Fort. What happened to you there? Where have you lost it? Where did you leave it, Marlene? Because you had it one time. I mean, you could have just lost it, so. I come in like a dog and bone, Marlene. You bury it and you forget the smell. Your knowledge, Marlene Malahou Fort, is like dog and bone. You bury the bone, but you lost your smell, Marlene. Can't find it back. What a disaster. Miss Constitutional Lifeful Minister. The woman confused. She confused. When you come tell about hybrid presidency in Marlene Malahou Fort. And that's so we should not tell you and Bellevue go get a joke. Yeah? When you come, I never heard such blunder. in all my life of following stupidity of politics is to hear a blunder from Marlene that we're going to create a hybrid presidency. No, Marlene can't write the manual for the hybrid presidency. Because Marlene has something new you're making, and you know when you make something new, Marlene, you have to write a manual with it, a manufacture manual, Marlene. That we are weird, man. Hey, oh man. Hey, what Andrew has done to you, Marlene? You were never like that, Marlene Malahoo. The truth be told, you were never like that. Don't if Andrew or a Bruce Golden mess you up. Don't ask me. But what I remember of you, Miss Malahoo, fought when you upon Radio Jamaica, you would take up fire. You know the hot fire. You know where you put logwood in a fire, Miss Malahoo fought. You would char the red fire off a logwood. That's the Marlene Malahoo fought. I remember. Look at you now, Miss Forth. Look at you. Listen to you. Sound like an utter cocoon in public. Haven't got a clue. You have to tap sometimes to catch up your demented state of your memory to tell with the fluff. Where Andrew Holness tell you to come out, you come tell you. Go and go focus on the only bus up road them. Go and go help we finish Cornwall and them something there. And leave the Constitution alone, lady. You've lost your understanding of constitutional law. Leave it till ISAT come. Oh man, move! Move up! And leave it till ISAT come. Don't. Thank you for being here this morning on the Global Television Group. Tell the woman, move out of the way till ISAT come. ISAT would be one of them who best understand where we need to go with this whole argument. Move up, Marlene, move up. Move up, Marlene, move up. Find somewhere to go. Good God Almighty. Tired of you, woman. Anyway, join us back right here this evening for the People's Point of View. And tell Miss Angela Brown-Burke, Miss Dana Morris-Dixon, and Miss Finley, principal of Coburn Gardens Primary and Junior High School, this is only the start. It's not yet over. Lest you do something, there will be more to come. Thank you and goodbye.
I truly believe our political system needs some fixing. Too much you hear about corrupt politicians and nothing happen. Too much you hear about politicians who take away poor people money and none of them reach in jail. And to the young people at home or wherever you are, and to all Jamaicans, I have one question for you. Take a look at your communities. Take a look at the sliding dollar. Take a look at the failing healthcare and ask yourselves, where is the progress? Where is the progress that this arrogant and disrespectful government keeps talking about? With this existing callous government, matters have gone from bad to worse.